All right, so we might jump in. I won't keep you too long today. So, I want to know, who is Anthony? Share with us.
Such a deep question.
It is,
Um,
isn't it?
so I'm a homeschooling dad to three boys. I live on the central coast of New South Wales here. We've got a farm with, animals, sheep, goats, cows, horses, geese, ducks, all the works. And we also grow blueberries, so we have do a lot of agritourism stuff here, which made life really easy through COVID because the boys could run off with their hatchets and build forts down the back. And as I've been homeschooling, there was a lot of products that people were recommending book-wise, and they were just out of print and hard to find. And so, as my way of just sort of paying forward to the community, I thought, well, if I can take away this barrier to entry for people to use these books, it'll hopefully give people a little bit more confidence as they get into homeschooling. So I tracked down the rights holders and have republished the books. And then other people kept asking for more books, and it's now 8 years later, and I've just kept going.
Wow, well done. I love that. I love these stories of, homeschooling parents who have seen a need and off they've gone. And so I guess that leads us to Living Book Press. So what exactly is Living Book Press?
Okay, so here, I mean, we are definitely eclectic homeschoolers, picking and choosing what works best for each of our kids with their different needs. But we try to base it around what are called living books. And it's basically a well-written book by someone who's passionate about the subject, usually told in a literary type style and it wraps history or geography or whatever else up into a story that helps it resonate with the reader or listener and work better with helping them retain what's going on and making connections to how whatever it is fits into the bigger picture of history or the world or whatever else is going on. So I've been trying to publish books in that style that people recommend. Charlotte Mason was a big advocate for that, but then there's a lot of overlap with other styles of education as well.
Perfect. Do you know off the top of your head how many books you've republished?
I think I've got about 400 and something that I've released, and then there's another 200 that are just being proofread and needing a cover. Um,
Wow, that's
so
a big feat.
it's
Okay,
been
so
fun.
how can Living Book Press help the homeschooling community?
Yeah, so if you're looking for something that can help with different aspects of history or geography or whatever else, I'm likely to have some titles for you. If you're in primary school looking for something to maybe teach about the First Fleet and what it was like founding Australia, there's a great series following John of the Sirius. Was written by Doris Chadwick, who was the editor of the newspaper that we used to get at school that had short stories and poems and introduced you to all that kind of thing. She did that for 40 years, and she just saw a need for this style of book. And they follow John, who's an early teen on the First Fleet, coming and then helping to found the colony in Sydney and all the difficulties that they encountered there. So it's a great way to introduce the kids to that style of what happened when they first settled in Australia. And then I've got sort of other things. If you're looking for a fun way to do some Australian geography, Nuri Mas did a book called Magic Australia, and it's about a boy who goes off around Australia with his friend Bushbo, who's sort of the personification of the eastern bushlands. And so they go and meet different people through the deserts and learn about Australian geography that way as he goes around the country.
Love that.
Her Wonderland of Nature is another one that's been recommended by people for a long time. It's an Australian introduction to different animals and creatures, told mostly through Nuri teaching it to her kids and what went on with them. Her son went on to be the head of science at Sydney University and is now in the US. He helped make one of the parts for the new massive Hubble telescope replacement and does all that kind of thing. He's the most fascinating person to talk to. He
Wow.
went through and updated a lot of the facts that were in the Wonderland of Nature to bring it into line with what's been learnt in the 50 years odd since it was first published.
Well done.
And so I've just got lots of different books like that you can sit down and read with your kids and still be giving them school. So if you're going through a period where there's a lot of chaos in life or you're low energy or dealing with illness or something like that, you can still curl up and read a great book with your kids and tick off a lot of the outcomes if you're one of the states that has to do that reporting.
Perfect. Do you take requests?
I absolutely do. Most of my books have come from requests. So at
Okay.
the moment, I've got a whole pile of emails out to different publishers and waiting for probate records to come in so I can track down different rights holders.
Excellent. That's good to know. All right. Thank you so much for that snippet about Living Book Press. So just a
My
reminder, if you want to have a look at Anthony's website, it's livingbookpress.com.au.
Yes.com. Yeah, no, most of my I'll do a lot with different curricula in America. So just
Okay.
livingbookpress.com, or if you Google,
Livingbookpress.com
that's
is
the one.
Anthony's website. Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much, guys.